So first of all, what are the 4 types of characters? Ba-ding! What's the first one?
Me.
Oh, you can read. Awesome. Ba-ding! Second one.
Support.
Support.
Yes.
Support. You didn't say it.
Said support.
And the third. Ba-ding!
Interactive.
Interactive. And the last one, everybody at the same time, 3, 2, 1.
Blue.
You're not technically wrong. First one is the main character. This is the shepherds, the Luke Skywalkers. This is the main characters of your stories. This is Ash. This is, trying to think of other, there's tons.
Harry Potter.
Sure, yeah. Mr. Potter. He's our new celebrity now. They are a major influence to the outcome of the story. Now, I've listed every word on here on purpose. A major influence. Are there other influences?
Yes.
Absolutely, of course, absolutely. But they're the major outcome of the story. Their influence to the story. They're highly engaged with the outcome of their story. If they're a character that just, when finally the evil sorcerer gets cut in half and blood sprays on the side and they're standing on the side playing Pokemon Go, that's entertaining, but it's not compelling. If they fought tooth and nail to get to that point and they're not engaged, what's the point? Right? They're also the main focus of any of your writing or your thoughts. They're on your mind all the time. For those people out here who are writers, how often do you have a conversation with your characters?
Every 10 minutes.
Every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I talk in the accents of my characters, and sometimes I'll respond to myself, and people probably think I'm nuts. Because I'm not kidding. I'll walk around and be like, but Father, no, we can't do that. Shut your face and just do it. Lift the log, boy. I physically can't lift it. No, lift it. I'm like 20 pounds. Yeah, so I'll argue with myself all the time. And then the last point, which is the most important, is all, and it's capitalized, all conflicts within the story, in some way, shape, or form, gravitate around them. All conflicts. Every one of them. Even a side character's or support character's conflict in some way, shape, or form finds its way back to your main character. In some way. Even if it's just, I'm right with you, Joe. Let's do this. And then Joe goes and does it. He's right there. Okay? It doesn't have to be a direct, like, okay, Joe, you stand over here, I'll go kill the demon. Right? No. They're right there with them. Because sometimes that can build such a strength to a character when they understand Joe has to kill that demon. I have to let him go, even if he's going to die. I don't have a choice. It's going to kill me if he dies, and I'm going to bring some major vengeance in on this place. But I got to let him go. So, all conflict. I've got... Oh, question.
Can you say the reason, or perhaps a reason as to why you would not have a conflict, like you'd have one conflict that's not involved, like why that would be a bad thing?
One of the ways that would be a bad thing is because then you're not thinking about the story related to the main character. So I'm trying to think of an instance of that happening, and let's see. Which one? Oh.
All of the stand.
That's not bad. Do you have an example of it?
There was actually a story I read, and it was just so bad that some of the side characters started having some kind of conflict, and the main characters were just like, what's going on over there? I don't know. And then they ignored it, and then they made the conflict that the side characters were having a main plot point, and made the comic relief into a main character for 2 chapters.
Jar Jar Binks?
No.
I never thought I'd actually say that word in front of people ever. Thanks for that. But that look on your face when you said that, you're like, I don't know what they did, but it was just like it came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, all these other characters have this conflict, and they have nothing to do with the main characters at all. Why am I paying attention to this? That's when you'll notice the tone changes or tempo changes. You'll notice it very, very visibly when you read a story, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, wait, what?
It's kind of like, it kind of took me out of it because I was immersed with the main character and I was relating to the main character, and then all of a sudden I'm supposed to relate to the main character's friends who they haven't really developed on their personalities yet.
On the flip side, though, can you completely go away from your main character and go over here? Absolutely. But it has to in some way link back maybe later on in the story or something, and then you'll go, oh yeah,
But
where it goes
you
to
could
that.
just skip those 2 chapters of the story, and nothing would have changed. Like you wouldn't have missed anything.
And nothing.
It was just filler.
From a writer's perspective, do you want anyone to skip any chapter of your book? Ding!
No.
Proud answer you.
No.
Okay, good. I did the noise. Anyway, so, oh, we do have a question. Yeah.
So, that kind of got me thinking. What about when there isn't like a distinct main character? Like, say you have a group scenario.
That's a good one. I'll get to that.
Okay.
Oh.
So that's another thing here for a lot of the questions. Just, hang on.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I like the questions. And if you ask a question and I don't cover it, that's why she's here.
Got it.
So, is that true?
Yes.
Absolutely. Can you only have one main character in your story?
No.
No, absolutely not. And in most cases, most stories you think of, there are always exceptions. Most stories you think of have at minimum 2. Usually, hero, villain. In some way, shape, or form, antagonist, protagonist, whatever way you want to say it. Usually. Not always. There are always exceptions to this. And that's one of the joys of the medium, is sometimes coming up with those exceptions. Okay? But it is not automatically the hero. Every once in a while I tell people, compelling character, oh, you mean the main character is the hero, right? It's like, no! Kafka is a super compelling character if you've ever played it. And Dr. Doom, oh my word, they've been trying to get him right for years in the film industry because they can't capture the essence of him.
It's because he needs time to develop.
Exactly. You need to invest in their background to be able to see their conflict. So now we're going to move on to supporting characters. I have a wonderful supporting character up there on the screen. They are engaged to the main character's outcomes at first. Meaning, in some way, shape, or form, they are going to focus on the main character's outcomes. But does that mean they don't have their own? Absolutely not. They can have their own. It could be greed. Han Solo comes to mind. It could be revenge. Punisher. It could be hate. Any number of characters. But at first, there's something that makes them join the main character, or help the main character, or be part of their story for some reason. They are then, when they join the story, at that point included in almost all subsequent conflicts in the story, once they join up. So for example, Han Solo, once he joins in A New Hope, does he just disappear? Well, at one point, yeah, he does. Sorry, spoiler alert there. Even though it's more than like... Anyway, so, but he comes back. Okay? He does come back into the story. He's invested the whole way through until he's, no longer invested anymore. I'm not going to get into that. So, and then they have to have a distinct difference in how they become involved in the main story. If every single supporting character is picked up at a pub, it gets really, really boring after a while, because then you're like, oh, another pub. Here we go. Who's going to join in this time? So you have to have different ways of them joining. And you can think of pretty much anything. I'm going to use what this character's from, Mass Effect. Liara joins because she's a scientist. Garrus joins because he's fed up and pissed off. Okay? Another person, Thane, joins for money and to kind of get a sense of purpose in his last days. Okay? Everybody has a different reason why they join the main character, but they all join the main character. Many supporting characters eventually become their main character. Support characters, that wonderful word of morphing or evolving characters. Many of these characters, in and of themselves, are now classified as a main character. Luigi. Sorry, Waluigi. Luigi is now his own main character. He's had stories completely of his own. Mario's not even involved. And in fact, sometimes Mario's just plain missing. I couldn't help it. Sorry. I practiced in the mirror for that one. Kerrigan, Queen of Blades. When you first played StarCraft a long time ago, if you have played it, did you ever expect her to get through that much of an arc? No, I never did. I never saw it coming at all. And she's gone flip-flopping back forth on two sides of the coin more than Two-Face. And she's good, bad, now I'm good, now I'm bad, now I'm really bad. No, I'm really bad. Like, all the time. Zuko, Sokka, absolutely main characters by the end. They become main characters in their own right. Guilty Spark from Halo. Main character. Of course, Han Solo, Aragon, etc., etc., etc. By the way, there are many examples from novels and books, but I do not put them in there because it's very hard for me to put 2 paragraphs of character description instead of 1 picture. So, and I'm sure you can think of tons of secondary or support characters that become main characters in anime, in movies, in TV shows, all over the place. Now we go to the interactive characters. These ones are some of the most fun, because these ones are very simplistically having to be engaged in the story before they're engaged in the main character. They are engaged with what is occurring, and they're often seen as a mentor, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, for example, here Reno. Reno was part of the whole story before anything to do with Final Fantasy even happened. They're part of the story before they become part of the main character. Then they must interact in some way with the main character or the supporting characters. Because not every single character in the whole world gets asked by the main character, where's the next quest coming? Right? It'd be really, really tiring. If every single time Batman had to go and ask somebody, where are you? No, seriously, where are you? I gotta go find you and bust you. Where are you? No, he finds out from other characters that he asks along the way. Or he gets information from other characters who heard about this person, who heard about this person. Like my uncle's cousin's former roommate, or whatever that quote is. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's too long. So that's what an interactive character is. Do you think that interactive characters can become support characters?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then can that interactive character then become a main character?
Yes.
That is the joy in a franchise, my friends. That is how you move such compelling amounts of fiction into other people's brains. They have a character on the side that they've seen. Reno, I'm going to use him because he's on here. Reno has a huge cult following. Like, it's not even a cult following, it's just a following in general. Okay, and then Epona. How many people would like to have their own Epona? Yeah. I would. Okay? They become support characters. Epona, unfortunately, I don't think has ever become her own main character.
That would be
That'd
hard.
be interesting. I'm seeing a My Little Pony cross mix here.
Wait for Breath of the Wild.
And then the crowd. These are affected or affect the story due to the actions of another character. Okay, so they do something another character tells them to do, or something is done to them by a character. Now, I didn't say what type of character, I just said character. They can be affected by interactive characters, support characters, and main characters. They're kind of the Goombas of the story world. Okay, they're affected by everybody. They can be easily interchanged with others like themselves. Put a hat on one, take a hat off. Glasses, no glasses. Okay? They're made up of individuals, but they're always seen to be a crowd like one mind. For example, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. The townsfolk. That's crowd character. One character, one description, 50 people with pitchforks and stuff. Okay? They can be easily elevated to an interactive character by being interacted with directly by any other character. So, you see a whole horde of soldiers. You see 2 in the front in line. And one goes, what are we doing here? And the other one goes, who are you? They're now interactive characters. One of them might even be your main character who got suckered into joining the army and then just leans to his right, and the unfortunate guy next to him is now an interactive character. And now you have to do more. And in the chart list that I'm going to give you later, it lists step by step how to elevate people from one stage to the next, to the next, to the next, and keep them compelling the entire time. They're often used as an army. It's Hydra, or the green-clad version of Hydra. They're often seen as an army, or a force. The main antagonist usually uses a lot of these guys. And they're excellent for conflict purposes, because they just, whoosh, they're done. Okay? Exactly. Foot soldiers, a lot of them. What's an example of a crowd? Ba-ding! Yes, your hand kind of went up.
Stormtroopers?
Stormtroopers! Thank you for being conscious. What's another example of a crowd? Ding!
Death Eaters.
Beautiful. What's another example? Your hand's already up. I didn't even make the noise. Yes, sir.
Hopefully it's like in the Lord of the Rings, the orcs
Absolutely. Orcs, goblins, Goombas is a great example I already used before. Your hand's kind of sort of up. You're dying to tell me. What is it?
Cybermen!
There you go. There's tons. Tons. Couple more. Your hands up to that.
You can get the Cerberus once all their Cerberus soldiers you fight are just kind of generic soldiers. You're like, okay.
Absolutely. Yep. Oh, that guy's dead. Oh, that guy's got a different name. Dive. Totally different. There's many more. Raven, yes.
Peacekeepers.
Peacekeepers. Absolutely. In the glasses, the blue shirt.
Oh, innocent bystanders.
Ah, that's the one I was looking for. I'll get to the other ones after a bit, but the innocent, that's what I was looking for. Innocent bystanders. Innocent bystanders. How much character do you think can be given to your main character when his mecha falls over and crushes an orphanage? Okay.
Ignore that, except you make two.
There's so many more, and I'm gonna take these last two right here.
The black and white armies from Homestuck.
There you go, and
Well, I have a question actually about
oh, okay,
that
yes,
orphanage thing.
yes. No, I haven't done that, but yes.
Orphans were like a crowd. Once they are dead because the hero's mech fell on them, they have now affected the hero. Have they become like post-mortem interactive characters?
Yes. Which means the main character, your main character, needs to find out in the story more about them, and that's a great example. Please hold on to that, because when we go through the elevation from crowd to interactive characters, you're going to see how to make them more compelling, and why that immediately shoots more information right into your main character, and makes the reader go, "Oh my God, is he ever going to get through this?" Okay, so that was an excellent question. Now, here's a simple guide. Any of you guys that have pieces of papers or pens or anything like that, awesome. If you want to use your cell phone at the end to take a picture of it, you can. Okay, I'm not opposed to that. Just try not to take it yet, because there's going to be many different slides in before that.
Your head's in the way.
It is in the way. I'll move. Not yet, though. What time we got? Just so I know.